my brother Matt. My name is Nick Jackson, and you are watching No Gimmicks Podcast.
Well, you're listening to the No Gimmicks.
Well, you're listening. It's a podcast. You listen to it. Yeah, you get the point. Too sweet, me. Boom!
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Todd Smith here once again with yet another episode of No Gimmicks Podcast. On this week's special edition, Dale and I are going to give to you our top fives. On what exactly? Well, I'm going to go ahead and toss it to Dale, and he'll tell you a little bit more.
Yeah, that's right, Todd. As you said, we're taking five t-shirts that we liked best from ProWrestlingTees.com, and part of that is because at the end of this episode, we're going to announce the big giveaway that we got coming up for all of the subscribers that have helped get us to this point in our first year. So I'm going to go ahead and send it back to you, Todd, for your first choice here.
So this is the Kenny Omega medley t-shirt design that we have going on here, dedicated to the cleaner himself and the leader of the Bullet Club, Kenny Omega. So let's see what we have going on here. First off, we've got the wing from the One Wing Angel, his finishing maneuver. On the right hand, we have the chainsaw, dedicated to the gimmick, where he takes the chainsaw and starts it up and grates his arm across the opponent's face. Also, on the left hand, we've got the blaster cannon, dedicated to Mega Man. Of course, Kenny Omega being a huge gamer. I took the three concepts which Kenny had here and relayed them to myself. You've got the gaming connection, the horror movie connection with the chainsaw, of course, the wrestling thing. So that's why I totally dug this t-shirt design here.
All right, that's a nice start there, Todd. Kenny Omega, definitely a huge star in the making. My first choice is going to be the hardcore icon himself, Mick Foley, and One Giant Leap for Mankind. Obviously, we're staring at the 16-foot-high Hell in a Cell. We know, obviously, the huge Undertaker throw-off of the Hell in a Cell, plus the numerous other times that he went through the top of the cell. And obviously, this is a play off of Neil Armstrong's words when he landed on the moon, One Giant Leap for Mankind, obviously. So a big, nice play in the professional wrestling world and in obviously, the history of the world itself.
This next t-shirt here is dedicated to one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, that being Keiji Muto, a.k.a. The Great Muta. Muta is definitely a legend in the professional wrestling business. I know that term tends to get overused, but he's inspired a number of wrestlers, including Yoshihiro Tajiri, which just popped up in WWE in the 205 Live division here not too long ago. But this guy here, I've watched his work ever since he was with NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions, also with WCW. Then once he headed back to the Orient and wrestled in New Japan Pro Wrestling and All Japan, and eventually forming his own company, Wrestle One. So yeah, I've always been a big fan of the different face paint designs that he's had, and then later on in his career, he actually started donning a mask. And this design is kind of reflective more of the mask look. You know, it's intense, it's intimidating, it's got definitely almost kind of like a Grim Reaper sort of look to it. So you mix that along with the headdress that Muta has worn to the ring in his ring entrance gear. So this is a pretty badass design, so that's why this is one of my favorites.
Next for me, we're going to look at one that gives you 4 angles. It's designed to be Kurt Angle. You got right, acute, and obtuse, and then Kurt, the greatest angle of them all. That's right. We're going to take some geometry, and then we're going to take some professional wrestling. We're going to mix them together, and the greatest angle that you can have is Kurt Angle. Obviously, huge accomplishment for him. He's getting to go into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. Much deserved there. Definitely can't go wrong with this one. If you're a math person and you're a wrestling fan, this is the shirt for you. The greatest angle of them all, Kurt.
So 1 super kick is good. 2 super kicks is great. What do you get when you have 3 super kicks from the Elite Stable in all professional wrestling? Well, of course, you've got yourself a super kick party. That's right, folks. This t-shirt is dedicated to the premier stable in professional wrestling, featuring Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and the Kenny Omega. This is their take on what the New Day did with their Budio cereal, but as we all know, New Day sucks. New Day sucks. So if you're going to go with a t-shirt, represent the elite for life of the Bullet Club, because it's just too sweet.
Super kicks. Yeah, I definitely thought that you would choose that one, knowing how much you're not a fan of the New Day. So definitely good choice there. And that also leads me into the next one, the Young Bucks, the Super Kick Awakens. Star Wars fan, definitely right here. And obviously you get this is a play off of The Force Awakens, the Young Bucks Super Kick Awakens. Absolutely a great t-shirt if you're a Star Wars fan and you want to mingle it with some professional wrestling. So can't go wrong with that one. Definitely, again, and another appearance from the Bullet Club Elite here with the Young Bucks.
So this t-shirt here is dedicated to one of my favorite tag teams in all professional wrestling, that being Hawk and Animal, aka the Road Warriors. Not the Legion of Doom. I'm talking about the Road Warriors who were dominant and just ran roughshod over the NWA Jim Crockett Promotions and WCW rosters. These guys were two hulking, intimidating, and just fierce competitors that just dominated the tag team scene back in the days. I actually had a t-shirt similar to this when I was a kid, so I definitely want to head on over to ProWrestlingTees.com and order myself one of these. And all I can say in the immortal words of Hawk, oh, what a rush. Yeah.
From the Road Warriors to the Golden State Warriors and Chris Hero. He obviously has this new thing going right now with his ring gear where he's kind of taking some NBA-inspired looks and then putting Chris Hero on it in the NBA colors. Obviously, you just recently saw him in NXT looking with Team USA Basketball, and now, obviously, on ProWrestlingTees.com, he's got several different looks, and I kind of like the one that was Golden State Warrior-inspired because, obviously, me and Todd are huge fans of the Golden State Warriors being from the West Coast. So definitely, like obviously you've got the circle, and for replacing the city gimmick, he's got the ring that replaces the bridge, and obviously the CH replaces the number, and then at the top you've got Chris Hero. So definitely a huge fan of this one, and actually really looking forward to trying to pick this one up, just kind of slide it in there with some of my Warrior stuff that I got going on.
So now getting to my favorite t-shirt on ProWrestlingTees.com. This design here is dedicated to one of my favorite professional wrestling games that I've actually played both on the American version and the Japanese version via import, that being Fire Pro Wrestling. So what we have going on here is we have, I believe it's Stevie Richards delivering a super kick to Taz, and he's taking the critical, which is the final death blow in that game. That means once you take one of those, you are done, you are finished, you're out of here. So yeah, I have been a huge fan of this series, and I was actually shocked to see a design dedicated to it on ProWrestlingTees.com. As you know, we have dedicated a number of episodes to the 2K17 series or the WWE 2K17 series, but I am just not a fan of those games at all. So the fact that they actually have one of those shirts on there actually kind of almost made me mark out a little bit. So that is why I chose that as my favorite t-shirt on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Great final shirt choice there by Todd. I don't know how much he loves the Fire Pro. So let's get into my final choice. It comes from a Super Mario Brothers inspired t-shirt. It is Super Kick Party from the Young Bucks. Matt and Nick Jackson look like Mario and Luigi. We are huge fans, my family, of Mario Party. We love playing those games. So saw this one. Absolutely love this shirt. Can't wait to put an order in to get it. Now, to the big reason why we were doing Pro Wrestling Tees. We gave you 10 shirts to look at. We are on the approach for 200 subscribers. We're trying to get there before our first year. So please watch this video. Hopefully you did that. Now give it a like. Subscribe to us because that's where the first key is. Also follow us on Twitter at the No Gimmicks PC. Like us on Facebook at the No Gimmicks Podcast. You've got to be on all three. And on YouTube, you need to be a public subscriber so that we can see that you subscribed. Now, once we get to 200, we are going to give out a random $25 gift card to Pro Wrestling Tees. Obviously, that was the point of the video. We gave you 10 to look at. There are thousands out there. We're just trying to give you a direction of 5 from each of us that we liked the best. So please, again, like this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at the No Gimmicks PC, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and see you again next time.